In this report, I explain why you will need $3,000 per month minimum to live in the Philippines. You've all seen it. One of my guest stars will share information about how they're living on $800 or $1,000 per month in the Philippines. Then someone will leave a comment about how you need at least $3,000 per month to live in the Philippines. Well, I have some bad news for you. Some of you will, in fact, need $3,000 a month to live in the Philippines. They're not lying to you. For some of you, that will be true. Some of you will need even more. The difference is all about your thinking. I'm not judging anyone here. I'm just saying that how you think determines how much money you'll need to retire in the Philippines. There is $1,000 per month thinking. There's $1,500 per month thinking. There's $3,000 per month thinking. Heck, there's even $10,000 per month thinking. I received a note from a guy once that said he'll need at least $10,000 per month to live on Subic Bay in the Philippines. He would have a big house up on a hill. He'd have a cook, a housekeeper, a gardener, a security guard. He would have pool parties in his backyard on weekends. He would keep a yacht in the yacht harbor at Subic Bay and wine and dine new ladies on his yacht every week. He would golf almost every day and eat out in the most expensive restaurants and buy rounds of drinks for everyone in his favorite bars. So depending on how you think, you can easily see why $3,000 per month may not be enough for some of you. But talking about the actual cost to live somewhere should at least include some information about the actual costs to live somewhere. So who would know what the actual minimums are? Shouldn't we ask Filipinos this question? 23.7% of the people living in the Philippines, which is 26 million Filipinos, live on less than 1,282 pesos per month for a family of 5. That information is from the Philippines government. 12,082 pesos translates into about $215 US per month for a family of 5. So I have a question for you. If there are literally millions of Filipino families that somehow live on $215 per month, would it be totally impossible for a single expat to live on $500 per month? Probably not totally impossible, right? So I assert to you that it is indeed at least possible that a single foreign expat could live on $500 per month if they wanted to. In fact, I have interviewed expats that say they're living on anywhere from like $500 per month to $1,000 per month in the Philippines. In case you're curious, I will put a few links below to those interviews. These are expats that say they're living on less than $1,000 per month in the Philippines. But keep in mind that the majority of retired expats living in the Philippines are living on more like $1,000 per month. So those interviews are there for you. At the end, you can just click below and watch those. Now, many of these American expats are relying on Social Security they get from the USA. The average Social Security check in the USA now is $1,562 per month. The present minimum Social Security check in the USA is now $886 per month, but it is very likely to increase again soon. By the way, there's links to all this information. Not everyone living in the Philippines has the same cost of living, and that makes sense. When we think about our family and friends back home, aren't they all living on huge variances in monthly budgets? So why wouldn't that also be true in other parts of the world like the Philippines? So the purpose of this video is to help you determine whether or not you're one of those people that really needs $3,000 per month to live in the Philippines. I have no problem with people that have more money per month to live on. In fact, the more you spend in the Philippines, the more you're helping the local economy. So good for you. So why am I bothering to debunk this myth that $3,000 per month is the minimum possible you need to live in the Philippines? Because there are millions of people around the world that are trying to live on less than $3,000 per month. Will they read $3,000 a month as an actual minimum in the Philippines and then give up on their dreams to live overseas? I hope not, because not everyone actually needs $3,000 per month. Plus, I assert that many of you will have a better life in the Philippines on less than $3,000 a month than you would have in your home country on less than $3,000 a month. Some of you will not. But why give up on the possibility of a better life before you even complete your analysis? I've been living outside the USA for over 15 years now, and I know how many expats think about life. But I will generalize this thinking to the Philippines for now. There is $1,000 per month thinking, there's $1,500 per month thinking, and there's $3,000 per month thinking. How you think will determine how much money you'll need to live in the Philippines. In order to demonstrate how thinking helps you determine your cost of living, I'll give you examples of how you could be thinking about each of the following expenses so you know how much money I suspect you'll need in the Philippines. Now, you'll never really know until you come to the Philippines and put your feet on the ground and do your own research, see what things cost. But these are just how I think your thinking will affect. Okay, what about your house? Here's what $3,000 a month thinking is. I would need Western style amenities like modern tile floors and community with 24-hour security and guard at the entrance of a gated community of similar homes in the gated community with other expats or wealthy locals in the community. I need at least 3 bedrooms and 2 baths with a fully equipped kitchen and a large living area and laundry. I prefer a secure and shaded place to park my car or my truck at night. That's $3,000 a month thinking. That's the total amount, $3,000. We'll go through these items. Okay, what's $1,500 a month thinking with respect to your home? Here's the thinking. We'll be fine with a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment or condo with 1 bathroom. We would also like to be in a clean and bright with a Western style and feel to it, even if it's not everything is perfectly updated and Western. We'll want to have at least some other expats near us so we have someone to talk about where to get things in the neighborhood. So what is $1,000 a month thinking? We will be fine with a 1-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom. It should be clean and bright inside, but not everything needs to be updated. It should be in a part of town with nice neighbors and that feels safe to us. That's what the thinking is based on the amount of money you'll need per month. Okay, what about transportation? Here's transportation thinking, $3,000 a month. My family needs at least 1 newer, reliable car or truck for daily life in the Philippines. That's $3,000. What's $1,500 a month thinking? We will be fine with a 3 to 5-year-old scooter with a couple of helmets, maybe an old car. We will ride that thing everywhere and be careful. What's $1,000 a month thinking? We will walk or ride bikes mostly as a form of exercise. We typically ride tricycle taxis and jeepneys if something is more than 1 or 2 kilometers away. We ride buses and jeepneys between towns. We also take a tricycle taxi, a grab taxi, or a jeepney in order to bring our groceries home. We rent a scooter once a month or so when we want to go on weekend trips to explore multiple places. That's transportation thinking. Where do you fall in there? Okay, what about groceries? Here's $3,000 a month thinking for groceries. We buy our groceries in modern, air-conditioned, one-stop grocery stores with tile floors and shopping carts. It should have fully stocked shelves full of both local and foreign imported goods from around the world. We're mostly interested in finding brands from home rather than trying to figure out what locals eat or how to cook the local style foods. We just feel uncomfortable in the open air markets where the food is out in the open and where all the locals are shopping. Okay, what's $1,500 a month thinking? We are comfortable shopping in the open air markets where the local shops. We try to buy most of our food there whenever we can find it, but we seem to stop by the expat style supermarkets at least a few times per month to buy things we love that we just can't seem to find in the public markets. Some foreign foods we just don't seem to show up in the public market, so we go to the grocery store for that. Okay, $1,000 a month thinking for groceries. We shop in the open air markets and try to stay away from the expat grocery stores whenever possible. The fruits and vegetables seem fresher and the prices are lower in the public market. Plus, we like saying hello to the people we've gotten to know in the individually owned food stalls in the public market. We feel like we're supporting local business when we buy from them. Okay, restaurant thinking. Here's $3,000 a month thinking for the Philippines. Sure, we cook 1 or 2 meals at home per week, but mostly we prefer going out to eat or having food delivered to us from our favorite restaurants in town. When we go out to eat, we eat mostly in restaurants where all the other expats hang out. That's where the food is most likely to be like our home food from our home country. Plus they have imported whiskey, they have meats and imported wines. Plus the place is really clean. It's air conditioned. The chefs are often from countries where they know how to cook the foods we love. We stay away from the local style restaurants because we just don't know what to eat when we go there. Okay, what's $1,500 a month thinking for restaurants? We cook mostly at home, but we go out to eat 3 or 4 times per week. Maybe twice per week we eat in the mom and pop style restaurants, and maybe once a week we'll go to the expat style restaurants. But we stay away from the restaurants in the outdoor public market. Okay, what's $1,000 a month thinking about restaurants? We usually eat at home. Sure, we go out to eat once or twice per week. Maybe once every few weeks we'll eat at an expat style restaurant. But when we're not cooking at home, we mostly eat at the mom and pop style restaurants run by families that know how to make great local food. We also sample the food carts in the night markets when we see one that the locals are all lined up behind to try. Okay, entertainment. Here's $3,000 a month thinking. My expat friends and I like to do fun stuff at least a few times per week. We like to meet at expat bars where many of the local women show up to look for older expats like us. We almost always go to one of the bars that stocks imported whiskey and scotch. A whiskey that would cost you $10 or $12 for a shot at home, you can get here for $5 or $6 per drink. We often drink the night away listening to the great music we can't seem to find anywhere else in town. We usually end up eating some Western style bar food before we head home. Once in a while, one of us will buy a round of drinks for our expat friends or a table of beautiful young Filipino women. It's not unusual for us to meet up at each other's houses for an after party. Once in a while, one of us will hook up with a new woman, whether professional or amateur. Okay, what's $1,500 a month thinking for entertainment? The alcohol prices in the Philippines seem to be rather high for imported liquor. So if we go out to a bar, restaurant, karaoke venue, live music venue, or other venues that serve alcohol, we generally order local beers, which range from about $1.50 to $2.50 in the local bars and restaurants. We often have a beer or two at home before we head out, since local beer is only like $1 in the stores if you drink it at home. Karaoke is a great way to get to know your Filipino friends. Singing is a big part of the Filipino culture. Okay, what's $1,000 a month thinking? We love to walk in the early evenings in the Philippines. Every town seems to have the perfect place to people watch. Filipinos are very friendly people, and it's easy to just strike up a conversation with people as you walk about. They seem generally interested in the foreigners they see in their hometown. Often just a smile will get people talking. Many Filipinos have lived overseas or have family living overseas, and that's usually where the conversation starts. Ask any Filipino where their friends go in the local bars to go enjoy a cold beer in the evenings. We do this once or twice a month. There's usually a venue where you can hear live music or karaoke and have a few local beers. Local beers are like $1.50 in these sorts of venues. We also like to invite friends over for dinner and have a few drinks to talk the night away. Now, I'm not judging anyone here, but you may notice about how people living on more money think in the Philippines. They're spending most of their energy and time and money trying to recreate their old life in this new country. They're not really that interested in the country they've moved to. But the truth is, you'll almost never be able to recreate your old life in a new country. Things are just not ever exactly the same there. So you're just going to be aggravated. So psychologically, you're telling yourself every day that where you are now is not as good as where you used to be, which isn't even true. If it were true, you would just go home, wouldn't you? Now, what's the real secret to enjoying your new life in a new country? I have a few reports that you should read if you're really trying to embrace and enjoy a new culture overseas. I will include links to those reports on my webpage. The link to that webpage will be on the first link in the notes below this video. A few titles, our example titles are International Retirement Top 10 Mistakes, Overseas Retirement Mistakes You'll Regret Forever, You Should Not Retire Cheap Internationally If, and Why Most People Can't Retire Early Overseas on $1,000 a month. But the main idea, and there's a few more by the way, but the main idea is to live like a Roman when you're in Rome. Don't try to recreate your old life when you're in a land in a new country. Instead, become a student of the new world instead of a teacher of your old world. Think of yourself as a cultural explorer. It doesn't mean that you won't still love some of the things about your old world. It just means you will learn and try new things along the way before you try to get the world around you to conform to your old expectations. Thanks for reviewing my report. Why you need $3,000 US per month minimum to retire in the Philippines. Please subscribe to vagabondbuddha.com or our YouTube channel to watch us move around the world. 15 years and 67 countries so far. Make sure to grab a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 15 Years. It has most of my best tips and tricks in it. This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, the YouTube channel for vagabondbuddha.com. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner? Hey, if you liked our video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Any of that would help our business. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Click the link in the notes below this video to get a copy of this content. Plus, grab a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 13 Years. While you're there, check out our catalog of retired cheap reports all over the world and our hobby income course that we just released. Thanks so much.